The way I like to describe this is if Disney didn't start with Mickey Mouse, you wouldn't have the theme parks. You wouldn't have, them be able to acquire Marvel and Lucasfilm.
Right.
Like all the things they have, like literally think about it. Every single thing that Disney has done, you can trace it back to that decision to create Mickey Mouse. The first thing. So I always ask people, what is your Mickey Mouse? Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the YouNeek Show, where we talk about everything YouNeek Studios, African geekdom, and the business of creators. I am one of your co-hosts. Is that the right word? One of your co-hosts? One of your
I'll accept it.
hosts.
I'll accept
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Roye Okupe, CEO of YouNeek Studios and lead writer as well. Co-host, introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Abaje. Happy to be here. I am a big fan of everything YouNeek Studios does, and it's just an honor to finally be able to get in here and get some of the insights just long before it comes out to the public.
Mm-hmm.
As being part of some of this stuff. But yeah, no, you can find me online. I happen to be part of a group called the NAIJA Nerds.
We
We
can
have
see
a
the
couple of
shirt.
podcasts. You can see the shirt, right? The
Yeah.
NAIJA Nerds, you can find us at NAIJANerds.com. We're fans of all things African when it comes to geekdom, nerddom, and anything that's being created in those spaces.
All right, I'm excited about today's show. We're talking about the
Same.
business of creators, and like for me, this is really one of this is the biggest reasons why I wanted to start this show, is to talk about the business of creating and creators. So, Jay, what are we getting into today?
Well, first of all, you are somebody who is able to talk, because there's some people who talk but they haven't really done anything, right? There's actually people out there who are doing very little, and
Yeah.
some of those who are doing a lot, they're not even being generous enough to share their
True.
knowledge and their experience.
True.
But we're going to be covering, like you said, the business of creating.
Yep.
And specifically, we're going to touch on how to start or grow a creative endeavor, right?
Exactly.
And we want to be talking today about, I think, among other things, the importance of a minimum viable product, or
Yeah.
an MVP. And
not Kevin Durant or like Tom Brady, right? That's not what I'm talking about today.
No, we're not talking basketball. We ain't talking. This is not about Steph Curry. This is not about KD. This is none of that. This is about that little thing that proves your idea. The
Yes.
first thing that proves that your idea can stand on its own two legs. It has merit and it's viable. Keyword viable. Second keyword minimum.
Yes.
Okay. So,
all right, let me get into it. So for me, this is something that's very, very important, because a lot of people miss this. And I was also there when I first started with YouNeek Studios. I think when people see companies like Marvel, Disney, well, Star Wars is not a company. I was going to say Star Wars, but you get
Lucasfilm.
Lucasfilm. You see just the vastness of how many things they're doing, and you're like, man, as a creator, I wish I could do that. And then people
get bought out for like $3 billion.
I know, right? Hey, I'll take 1 billion, right now. So if Lucasfilm, Disney, if you're out there, 1 billion and you're done, YouNeek Studios, you can have it. But
10%.
On a more serious note, people see the vastness and they want to have all that. And there's nothing wrong in wanting to have all that and having the vision, but you can't start out with everything. So let's take, for instance, you want to start an entertainment company. Let's say you want to do something like YouNeek Studios, where we have animation, we do comic books, we're trying to go into TV and film now. You see all that and it's like, oh, I want to write a TV script. Oh, I want to create a video game for this character. Then I want to do a comic book based on that. Then I want to create the shirts, and sell them. Then, oh, can you help me make toys? And people get into this whole issue of doing everything and doing nothing. And I always tell people, you have to start with one thing. And the way I like to describe this is, if Disney didn't start with Mickey Mouse, you wouldn't have the theme parks. You wouldn't have, them be able to acquire Marvel and Lucasfilm. Like all the things they have, like literally think about it. Every single thing that Disney has done, you can trace it back to that decision to create Mickey Mouse. The first thing. So I always ask people, what is your Mickey Mouse? What is your MVP, your minimum viable project? And I'll give it like in a basic example. If you're trying to create a comic book, for instance, right? Your minimum viable project would be do 10 pages of the comic, put it on Webtoons, create, put it on Facebook, give it out for free. If you're trying to create an animated movie, right, create teaser trailer, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, do something, put it out into the world, and let people actually let you see, check to see if your project is actually viable. For me, what I did with EXO is, like, when I wanted to start the graphic novel, I created 20 pages. I put it out there. I created an email list. I said, hey, if you want to read the first 20 pages free, join the email. You join the email, you get the book, you download the book. And what happened then? Over the course of 3 months, I was able to get 500 subscribers who had read chapter one. When I had the graphic novel, I put it on Kickstarter, and I went back to those 500 people and said, hey, the graphic novel is here now. So imagine somebody that's already excited about the free 20 pages they got. They want to see the rest of the story. Those were the people that backed my project, and I was able to get successful in a matter of 3 days with my first
So
Kickstarter.
let me jump in there real quick.
Yes.
You jumped in, and the first thing you did was email 500 people. Where
No,
did you
no, no,
even
no,
get
no.
this?
Not email 500 people. I
Huh?
created a 20-page
Oh,
comic
yeah, you
book.
created that, right?
I put it out on social media. I said, if you want this book,
Right.
sign up for my email. Right. I
Oh,
did
right.
I did that for 3 months, going out on Facebook, going into Facebook groups, telling people about this project. It's free. All you have to do is sign up for my email. And when I got up to 500 people within the 3 month span, I felt
Mhm.
like I was ready to now start a Kickstarter because I
Okay.
had a fan
So
base.
emphasis on that's. In fact, I'm glad you said it that way, because
Yeah.
my question was going to be, like, a lot of people want to get to the 500. You
Yeah.
got to 500. They want to get the 500, but they
Yeah.
didn't recognize the work that not everybody knows the work
Exactly.
that went in there to getting the
Exactly.
500.
Just look
Right.
at it from the point of view of a consumer that's never heard anything about you. Like, if you've not heard of anything about somebody, is it easy for you to bring out your money and say, okay, I want to buy this thing? Like, you
Mm,
always have to look at it from a perspective. As creators, it's hard for me. Like, I write my stories and I'm like, man, this is the best stuff ever. Everybody needs to buy this. And when nobody buys it, I'm like, why isn't anybody buying it? But it's like, at the same time, you have to be realistic with yourself. If nobody has heard of you, you have to be able to give people frictionless entry into what it is that you're doing. I want to show you something real quick, just like, an illustration. This thing, blew my mind. It's like, if you look at the top right, somebody is trying to build a car, right?
mhm,
It's hard to go through from 1 to 4. But if you look at the one below, right, you can see that you start with a skateboard, number one. Then, if you sell 100 skateboards, you can start selling scooters, right? Because people have bought the skateboards. You sell 500 scooters, then you go into making bicycles, right? By the time you get there, it's like you've built your fan base. So when you now create your first motorbike, you have people who have bought the skateboard, the scooter, the bicycle. And then when you finally get to what you really wanted to do initially, which was
mhm.
the car, you have people that have bought 4 things already that you've spent your time doing, and then you've built a custom base, you built a fan base of people who have actually can vouch for you because they've received your project, as opposed to spending 2 years building the car. You've sold 4 things before you even get to where you want to be, which is selling the car.
Exactly.
Yep.
Basically, ramping up is so important. Being able to scale up, start small,
Yeah.
but also never lose sight of where you're actually going, right? Because I think
Exactly.
that's one of the things that you, in particular, because one of the first things people see is the comic books,
Yeah.
but not everybody. And I think this one of the things that fascinated me about you was the fact
Yeah.
that you jumped into doing the comic books and doing this, but you always wanted to do animation. You
Yeah.
always wanted to go. That was the goal.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
your skateboard, your Mickey Mouse was
Yes.
a comic book. How do I start
Exactly.
with this little thing?
That's you've said it perfectly. My first love is actually animation. Like, I grew up Ninja Turtles, Transformers, watching in front of the TV. Mom had to drag me from there to go to school. But
Radical, radical.
exactly, but that's what I always want to do, animation. I always want to have something on TV. But I had to, take a step back and say, look, I don't have $10 million to do 10 episodes of animation. What is it that I can do now with the characters that I want to animate? And that's create a comic book. Start with a
Mm,
comic book. And when I did build my fan base, I was able to do the Malika animation because
mm,
I had 4 years of people buying. At that point, I think I had 8 books that I'd released. People had bought all these books. They love my characters. They love the company. When I went on Kickstarter to do the Malika animated shorts, people, again, it was funded. We raised $20,000. Now that animated short is my MVP. I'm taking that out now and seeing, can I do a full length Malika movie? Can I do a full length Malika animated TV series? So you always have to think, wherever you are, you have to do what you can. You understand what I'm saying? Do what you can where you are, and take that thing and build upon it, as opposed to looking at, oh, I want to do all these things. How do I do all of them at once? Start where you are, do what you can, and build on top of that.
Final question.
Yes.
How one of the hardest things to do is reducing all your ideas to one little thing. Like I know this from experience. Like with NAIJA Nurse, when we started doing it, we wanted to do everything and nothing at the same time. You want to go on Twitter, you want to go on social media, you want to write, you want to podcast, you want to do interviews, you want to write long form, you want to do news, you want to have a Discord, build a community. Next thing you know, you're doing everything, you're everywhere, and you don't even have the bandwidth or the resources to cope. So for you, what's your advice for creators out there who are thinking, guy, I have all this stuff out there. How do I even pick which one to work with? Like this one, I asked 10 people, 3 like this, 3 like that, 3 like that. How do I pick the one to run with?
To me, again, it's 2 things, right? Which one is going to cost the least, and which one are people attracted to the most? Those are the 2 things. When I have a lot of things I want to start, that's really where I start with. Like, again, what is going to cost the least, and which one are people going to gravitate towards the most? I'll give you a very simple example. With when I started YouNeek Studios, I had the idea for Malika Windmaker. I had all these. It's crazy to think I had all these ideas, but back then I had EXO. I had actually done it as an animated short, and people already knew that, right? So rather than start with Malika, people already knew EXO, right? So I put that out there first. When EXO was successful, then I brought Malika onto it as well too. So what's going to cost the cheapest, and which one are people most attracted to at that point in time?
So I think I can work with that. Anybody who hears that can work with that.
I can work with that.
What's going to be the least expensive thing you can do? Because don't forget, we don't want you to do cheap stuff that poor quality.
Exactly.
Because like they say, if you pay peanuts, you do tend to get monkeys. But
wow, that's really never.
You want to focus on quality stuff that's inexpensive. But at the same time, people resonate with the most. So I think those are words to live by. Great way to round up our first episode of the business of creators and creating. Roye, this has been awesome. I think I want to tell everybody, make sure if you have any ideas what else you want to hear, ask questions, anything else you want to know about, or you want Roye to break down in terms of his process that has worked for him, because these are actual processes that have brought results. Okay. Put those in the comments. Let him know. Let us know. Put it in the comments. Ask your questions there and give a lot of feedback. And also, please put this out there. Share this. Tag somebody who needs to see or hear this. And catch up for us for the next episode.
All right. Thank you, guys. Stay safe out there.
Peace out.
All right.